The game officials for this game have been licensed and assigned by the International Ice Hockey Federation. Представляем судейскую бригаду сегодняшнего матча судей Международной Федерации Хоккея. The referees of the game are Antonin Yeradek and Linus Olov. Главные судьи матча Antonin Yeradek и Linus Olov. The linesmen are линейные судьи Andreas Malmqvist and Zachary Suominen. The starting lineup for Team Canada. Стартовый состав команды Канады. Goalkeeper, вратарь. Number 31, номер 31, Calvin Peters. Defenders, защитники. Number 5, номер 5, Коди Сиси. Number 27, номер 27, Ryan Murray. Forwards, нападающие. Number 4, номер 4, Taylor Hall. Number 19, номер 19, Дэвид Брассар. Number 24, номер 24, Colin Perry. The starting lineup for Team Hungary. Стартовый состав команды Венгрия. Goalkeeper, вратарь. Number 29, номер 29, Золтан Кетели. Defenders, защитники. Number 26, номер 26, Kevin Wills. Number 52, номер 52, Джесси Дудаш. Forwards, нападающие. Number 20, номер 20, Ишвар Шафрон. Number 28, номер 28, Иштван Марталиш. Number 41, номер 41, Балаш Шеба.
These fans have been standing, clapping, and chanting since the warm-up began a half an hour ago. They won't stop during the game. What a thrill for this small hockey country to be on the big stage at the World Championship. Rich Chernomaz, the Canadian, is the head coach for the 4th year of their national team, which won the B pool last year by beating Poland in Krakow, Poland, 2-1 with an empty net goal. The Polish had to win that game, so they gambled. And Hungary is the beneficiary in the A pool for the first time since 2009. And they'll face the defending gold medalists from Canada, who have won 11 straight, going back to last year's World Championship. Had a chance to talk to some Hungarian fans outside the arena prior to the game, Ray, and thrilled to be here and gave up a lot to come.
They were saying that this trip is not just for the players, but for these fans that are here, is a trip of a lifetime. That for several of them, it's quite a significant contribution or commitment financially for them to come. And as you can hear, they're pumped to be here.
Yargo Naj slides it back, and the lead pass goes to Janos Bash. And Bash, number 21 on it. We should mention that Hungary gave Slovakia a pretty good test in the first period of that game. In their 4-1 loss, it was tied in the first period. Scored a power play goal to even it up. They have 5 North Americans naturalized on their roster. As Cody Ceci picked off that pass, and a great chance in front for Balia Magoshi.
What a stop for Calvin Pickard. First minute of the game, a right pad flat.
McDavid with a sharp angle. That's knocked away from Zoltan Henry, the starting goaltender for Hungary. That long shot by Morgan Riley was blocked. Now the centering pass finds Duchesne as Chris Tanev slipped to him. Tanev takes the return pass and goes down to Riley. Morgan Riley. Down to Brad Marchand, who scored a shorthanded goal in Canada's opener against the United States. Back to Duchesne. Back for Riley. Across to Tanev. Finds the seam. Duchesne works in. Backdoor pass that was knocked away by Henry. Now the centering pass goes to McDavid. And his shot putters wide of the goal. Tanev on it. Down to Duchesne. He falls and McDavid picks up the loose puck. Connor McDavid sends it with Marchand. The shot right on. Henry with the save. And the rebound cleared away by Vilmos Gala of Hungary. Marchand back on it. Slides it across, but again, and that shot blocked by Vincent Stipchitz. Ryan O'Reilly. Plays in the corner for Gallagher. Brendan Gallagher back to Morgan Riley. For Tanev. A sharp angle shot by Boone Jenner misfired. Ryan O'Reilly has it back to Tanev. Across to Riley. Tanev. Across to O'Reilly. Centers for Gallagher. He found the shot. Pokes it back towards the goal. And he makes a great stop on the rebound.
This is a minute and a half straight in the zone offensively for Canada. And really one of the challenges always for the smaller countries is being able to skate with the Canadians or the top-end teams. They just can't quite get to them to break a cycle, to defend. They're finally able to get out of the zone.
Dallas Box plays it out. A second-round pick of the Dallas Stars back in 2002. Spent 3 years in the American League before returning to Hungary. There's never been a Hungarian-born and trained player in the NHL.
Look out.
Mark Stone collides with his opposite number, Istvan Mesjad for Hungary.
One thing for Canada, you saw Stone almost get stood up at the blue line. Be aware, you're not sure where a player might be.
Erde in for Hungary. And Senat Erde puts that high and wide.
Seen plenty of occasions where a player has just got throttled because he wasn't aware that an opponent's standing up.
Stone with a steal for Max Domi walks in. Domi backhands it back in front, and he knocked that away. Out on the line by Ryan Murray. Across to Cody Ceci. Shifley tries to play it in deep. That pass broken up by Jesse Dudas from St. Albert, Alberta. Got friends and family here from Canada. One of the 5 North Americans who's obtained a Hungarian passport to play in this tournament. Derek Brassard busts in with Taylor Hall. Brassard for Hall, loose in front of the hand shot. The penalty coming out of Hungary. And the first power play of the game will go to Canada as the hooking call goes against Kevin Weirs from Plymouth, Minnesota.
An odd bouncing puck in the neutral zone allows the 2-on-1. Derek Brassard turns the puck quickly, and Taylor Hall, who scored in the opener, is the recipient of that pass turned aside in the hooking penalty. There's in the first minute. Magoshi's shot turned aside sharply by Calvin Pickard. And in that almost 2-minute cycle, Brad Marchand turned away twice by Hentigny.
Canada over 5 in the power play in game 1 against the United States. Ryan O'Reilly drops it down to Duchesne. Back to O'Reilly, former teammates with the Colorado Avalanche. Morgan Riley, long range shot that's tipped and kicked away by Hentigny. O'Reilly centers for Duchesne again. Puck played up by Martin Bosch. The center ice. Derek Brassard winds his way in. Duchesne. Down to Brassard, loose in the corner. Feet behind the goal for Corey Perry. Back to Brassard. In for Riley. Across he goes to O'Reilly. Ryan O'Reilly slides it down to Matt Duchesne. Centering pass for O'Reilly missed. O'Reilly to Riley for Brassard. Long wrist shot, tipped right on it. Makes another save, rebound. And Perry puts it right to the goal line. The referee says no goal. Somehow Henry kept it out.
Good puck movement. Brassard shot. There's Perry, who's made a living right at the front of the net. His backhand hits the goal post behind Hentigny, and then it's going to bounce behind him, and it just stays there. Duchesne's looking for it in his pad somewhere. He knows it's there. Perry shot off the pipe. Duchesne not able to find the rebound.
And he's got an equipment problem. He played 2 years in North America in Cincinnati and Orlando in the ECHL.
He was also part of that last Hungarian team to play in the World Championship back in 2009 as a 21-year-old.
Taylor Hall battles for it. 55 seconds to go on the power play. Shifley plays it back for Dumba. That pass missed. Matt Dumba, the Minnesota Wild, who according to our Darren Dreger is getting a new head coach for the coming days. Bruce Boudreau apparently close to signing with the Wild as their new man. Mike Yo, the former head coach of the Wild, is here as an assistant coach for Canada.
Sorry, bro, I just looked down to the Hungarian end. They're now batting around beach balls down there. He's awesome.
Here's Dumba with it. In for Stone. Pumps it back to McDavid. McDavid to Stone. A center pass. Score. Mark Scheifele on the feed from Stone. And the power play goal makes it 1-0 Canada.
Really nice puck work. Scheifele, who had 3 shots in the opener, is able to take the pass from below the goal line from Mark Stone, and after a minute and 45 of the power play, Canada's on the board. Room through the neutral zone, a nice pull-up by Stone to get set, and then Stone's going to work his way below the goal line. Scheifele's going to stay and move maybe 2 or 3 feet, and that's pretty decent coverage by Safran, who's standing right on the backside of Scheifele, but the pass is so quick. Right on the tape, and Mark Scheifele's made it 1-0.
Breakout year for Mark Scheifele with Winnipeg Jets. Scored 29 times this year, after 15 the year before, the 23-year-old from Kitchener. And he still has an equipment problem.
And if it's Patrick Laine in the draft, it's not too hard to picture those two guys together. A couple of big right-handed forwards. Laine will play later today, trying to best his 2-goal and 1-assist performance from the opener. And Connor McDavid picked up an assist on that goal. And I would say McDavid's probably aware that Austin Matthews and Patrick Laine, just a year younger, just a couple of days younger in Matthews' case, are on the board, and now McDavid is too.
Ben Hutton reaching forward for Canada was the 7th defenseman in the opener against the United States. By just under 4 minutes, Canada's got 20 skaters dressed in this tournament. So most North American teams go 13-7. Quick chance there for Safran. Shut down by Cal Pickard. 13:38 to go here in the first period. A power play goal has Canada ahead 1-0. The assistant coach for Team Canada, the former head man of the Minnesota Wild, standing next to Bill Peters, the Canadian head coach. And Mark Scheifele is a power play goal to give Canada 1-0 lead as he talks it over with Connor McDavid on the Canadian bench.
It's funny, they played against each other and know each other, yet you get on the ice and everybody goes just a little bit of a different direction. You want to try and figure it out as quick as you can. It's amazing. I mean, that every power play setup's virtually the same, yet it's always just a little bit different. Didn't look like there was too much problem finding anyone on that first one. What a beautiful pass and release from Stone to Mark Scheifele.
This is Serrani. Plays around that lead pass. Missed Vilmos Gallo. And the puck back down the Hungarian zone for face-off.
Look at that quick feed. The puck never stops. McDavid, Stone, and Scheifele. Hungary's in good position here. They really can't defend it much better. Maybe Safran stronger on the stick of Scheifele, so you try to deny that shot, but they were in decent position.
Taylor Hall picks it up. On the goal for Derek Brassard, back at the point. For Tanev to Riley. Morgan Riley putters out towards the goal. It's knocked down by Stipchins. Stipchins plays at Princeton High School in North America. In U.S. high school hockey, looking for a college scholarship. In comes Taylor Hall with it. All loose in the corner. And now a race for it, picked up by Gergo Naj. A couple years in the Central League and the East Coast League in North America. And Naj has it back. The bulk of these Hungarian players play for Fehérvár in the Austrian League. They finished 10th in that 12-team league. Bosch goes back for it and finds Frank Banham, the former Anaheim Mighty Duck. And I'm not saying that wrong. They were the Mighty Ducks when he played for them in the mid-90s. Also played for Phoenix. Yes, Phoenix, not Arizona, when he played for them.
Shane Knighty, who's doing the games in Moscow. Oh, look out, here goes Marchand.
Marchand to steal a breakaway. Marchand in a long backhand shot from high and wide. Marion Denisov, that one is called.
Marchand scored a shorty in the first game, a breakaway. He steals the puck from Banham at the blue line. Banham's going to try and slap this towards the net. Gone. They're not going to catch Marchand there. And he takes it to the backhand. It's a good move. He's got room. He just wedges this over at the top of the net. And the post several times yesterday got knocked off at that one end.
Yeah, it seems like it's an issue with that one end. They've had to drill out a couple of times to try to get that post in properly.
It's better than the exhibition game we did in, where was the place in Sweden? It was up, Angles.
Was it Ängelholm?
Ängelholm. The puck went through the net 3 times.
Yeah.
No, it was actually at Malmo because they had moved to Malmo where the tournament was starting. They had this new netting.
Yeah, this new...
it really didn't work very well.
Leading edge netting, which turned out to be not leading edge at all. It was...
3 pucks went through the one net. Man, the tournament starts tomorrow. They better get on that.
They went back to the old net. Scheifele centers it. Tap line the goal by Stone. Here's Stone back with it. Reinhardt digs for it. And Dudas plays it out. Moved down the ice by Christian Noj.
I've got to give credit to our producer, Kevin Pratt, who finally woke up here after 3 days. And
I didn't know he's here.
Yeah, apparently that was last year's World Junior.
In Helsinki.
Yes. He's only off by 3 years.
Won't be slagging the Swedes unfairly. And making them take Finland's problems on. They don't like that very much. Now the puck went off the stanchion, and the face-off will be in the Hungarian zone. What was your Shane Knighty story about Frank Banham?
Oh, that he played with Banham in the American Hockey League in Cincinnati, and in hockey parlance says, "This is a beauty." Which means you got a character on your hands.
41 years old. Came to Hungary a couple of years ago.
Huge scorer in junior. He was the top scorer in the top goal scorer in the Western Hockey League his last year at junior. A couple of years older than Jerome McGinley, who finished second that year by 19.
Bettany out to play it. 1-0 Canada lead. 6-2, the shots on goal in favor of the Canadians as Corey Perry slides it down. Canada in action next against Belarus tomorrow. Now busting another chance. That stick breaks on Phil Mosgallo, and the puck flutters wide. Lead pass goes to Hall, busting in with Perry. Taylor Hall in the backhand shot, scores! Pettier down and out, and Taylor Hall slides it home, and Canada leads 2-0.
Hall's going to the backhand here. The puck slides off his stick and goes right to Corey Perry, who touches it in from 1.5 feet away. But when Gallo's stick broke, he went to the bench, and Hungary was changing. So they were late back into the defensive zone. A long lead pass to Taylor Hall. There's all kinds of room. And the puck slides to Corey Perry. And you're not going to get much easier than that.
So Corey Perry accepted Canada's invitation after Anaheim was knocked out in Game 7 by Nashville. Has a chance to become the 27th member of the Triple Gold Club. Players who have won the Stanley Cup, the Olympic gold medal, and a World Championship. Sidney Crosby was the 26th member last year, winning gold in Prague. Puck into the Canadian bench. 9:52 to go.
So Perry, who hit the post on his first shift on the power play, even closer to the net this time, and he doesn't miss from 1.5 feet away. That was a pretty sweet breakout pass that came from behind the Canadian net right up to Taylor Hall, well over 100 feet away, and Hall was able to slide it over to Perry.
By the way, in Moscow, Kazakhstan and Russia are tied at 1. Dustin Boyd, the former Canadian World Junior player, will score the tying goal for Kazakhstan in that one. Nigel Dawes, another former Canadian junior star. He's played for Kazakhstan as well.
That top line for Kazakhstan with Boyd, Dawes, and Brandon Bochenski, all now passport holders and able to play for Kazakhstan.
So the rule is if you've played for another country previously in the IIHF, you have to spend 4 consecutive years in your new country playing and hold a passport. So in the case of Boyd and Dawes for Canada, they qualify into that scenario. If you've not played in another country before, in the case of Frank Bannon, 2 full years in your new country and a passport.
Bochenski's been there for quite some time now. 5 or 6 years. I was reading an article on him this morning, and but he likes it a lot. It's been a lot of fun, and not quite into the Kazakh diet yet.
No.
So there's lots of options. And
maybe that should be the requirement. Never mind a passport, you have to eat 3 dishes of the local food before you qualify to play for it. Morgan Riley works in, long shot goes wide. Here comes Riley back with it. Morgan Riley back for Tanev. Off the bench comes back Domi. And Domi's pass finds Riley behind the goal is Stone, who taps it there for Domi. Domi back to Tanev, a long shot that goes wide. Here's Stone back with it. At the point is Riley, under 8 to go here in the first period. Morgan Riley to Max Domi. Flips it down to Scheifele. To the goal line to Stone. And Riley lost the puck at the line. Morgan Riley with Canada a nice time in the opener against the United States. They only played over 20 minutes. The Stone centers have just missed Scheifele. With the 13-7 alignment in the IIHF, you don't often see a 25-minute defenseman in these tournaments or a 20-minute forward.
No, you're able to specialize with that 7th defenseman. Maybe someone who plays on the power play or kills penalties. And that's where a lot of the extra minutes go to the D.
Some nations go 12 and 8, so you have 4 full rotations. Most North American teams do 13 and 7.
And as a forward, 12 and 8 is much better. That 13th forward, unless you're the 13th forward, totally gums up the whole procedure. You're always on the ice with somebody different, and it seems like just when you get into a rotation, you're the guy that has to sit a shift. Now you got to wait 4 minutes more to 3 minutes more to get back out there.
So Sam Reinhart was the 13th forward for Canada in the opener against the United States. Bouncing puck. Got away from Matt Dumba. And Ben Hutton has it back for Canada. Slides it ahead for Perry. Taps it across, trying to find Hall. That's knocked out by Serrani. Gallo centers it. Sauer in. And Andrew Sauer from Saskatoon had a chance there. He's got friends and family here as well. Had a chance to talk with them outside. What a thrill for them to come and see their brother, their friend, playing a world championship. Bannon to Weir. Back to Bannon, off the shin pad of Marchand, almost away again, and Petty comes out to play it. And will freeze that on the face-off dot with 6:22 to go in the first period. Back to St. Petersburg after this.
Первый период матча между командами Казахстана и России. По ходу первого периода счет равный 2-2.
Brad Marchand had a couple of chances here in the opening period. Breakaway turned away, and a moment ago, Zoltan Hetye came out and froze the puck away from him. And yeah, 29-year-old from Budapest. He's also played in Finland. A lot of these Hungarian players are well-traveled. North America, all over Europe, Finland, Sweden, Germany. And they're fans travel well as well. They qualified at a Group B last year in Krakow, Poland. Now play called, puck deflected up and out.
I'm totally mesmerized by the Hungarians chant. They just started, all of them sitting down with a real quiet chant, and then whoever the ringleader is makes a motion and they all spring up to their feet. Oh, it's outstanding. I get a real kick out of this.
There's a puck into the meshing right in front of them.
The first tournament I played in the World Championships, the Latvians were there, and I had never seen that before. And it's amazing how the play would go up and down the ice. We were just watching these guys have the time of their lives. It was awesome.
Did they have the drums?
Oh, of course. It sounds like a soccer match. And you can't even hear, you don't know what's going on. And some guy down there pounded a drum for 3 hours.
Too bad Latvia and Hungary are in separate pools this year. Bring the roof down.
That tent area outside would be full between games.
And perhaps during. Marchand, another steal for Canada. And the puck on the line. For a lot of hockey fans, this is an annual pilgrimage to come to the World Championship. Great cities in the spring. Next year, Paris and Cologne will be two popular spots to go to. Cody Ceci bangs it up in Copenhagen the year after that. Dipshit tries to flip that ahead. And back goes Serrani for it. 5.5 to go in the opening period. Canada won the last meeting 9-0 in 2009. In Moscow, it's 2-2 between Kazakhstan and Russia.
This has not got off to the smoothest of starts.
For the host team?
For a tournament 600 in a row for the Russians. Man, they play these early games like scrambled eggs sometimes. Down to a tiny roster still.
Yeah. Probably not pleased that Washington beat Pittsburgh last night to stay alive. They're holding 3 spots. We'll probably look at St. Louis, Dallas as well. Maybe try to get Tarasenko if the Blues were to fall in that series.
Not happy that those series were extended.
No. Remember last year, Alexander Ovechkin for Russia and Thomas Buchanan arrived very late in Prague to play for their teams, right off airplanes. Pavel Scheibuk picks it up now for Hungary. Back to Jesse Dudas. Across he goes to Weers. Weers a long shot. Pickard makes the stop. The rebound squirted away, and Ryan O'Reilly has to tap that to the corner. Tanev battles there with Weers. Former Minnesota Golden Gopher in the NCAA. Weers has that knocked back as Jesse Dudas from St. Albert picks it up. 5 full years in the Western League for Dudas. And then played for 8 teams in 6 years in various minor leagues in North America before coming to Hungary. Costing it now is Scheifele. Reinhardt up there. Reinhardt steers that on goal, knocked away by Hetny. At the point, Hutton shoots. Hetny makes the glove save and hangs on.
I would say the surprise of the Vancouver Canucks this year was Ben Hutton coming out of nowhere to make the Canucks and have a real good year. There's Weers' shot. Pickard's had to make a couple of difficult stops here in this first period. Weers, as you mentioned, is from Plymouth, Minnesota, played over 100 games in the Austrian League, as he too builds a career overseas.
It's amazing how many players have done it. It's a nice life over here. A lot of them end up settling in North America. Now Hungary breaks it up. Sauer across the line, but a penalty coming to Hungary will be a hooking call that will go to Sadnat Erde, and Canada's going back on the power play.
There was the first penalty of the game where Weers had hooked Taylor Hall. A minute and 45 seconds later, Mark Scheifele made it 1-0. And there's the tripping penalty or hooking penalty on Erde.
Number 36, Chad Erde.
Canada 0 for 5 in their first game, 1 for 1 today on the power play again.
And Corey Perry has one of the Canadian goals back for Morgan Riley. Riley, and for O'Reilly. Broussard picks up a loose puck, and Hetny gets a piece of that. Here's O'Reilly back with it, Ryan O'Reilly. Down to the goal line for Perry. His passing lane was blocked, and O'Reilly has it back. Perry back in, slides it across. The pass bounces right back to him, and now O'Reilly gathers it up. Ryan O'Reilly back across to Derek Brassard to the point for Morgan Riley across to O'Reilly. All we need is Riley Smith here to really gum it up. Morgan Riley has it back. Brassard to Riley, to O'Reilly, a one-timer, fires it, he sneaks out the glove and makes the stop.
Really nice stop on the O'Reilly one-timer. The Canadians move the puck around the top of the zone. Morgan Riley quarterbacking things from the middle, and eventually Ryan O'Reilly, who had a heck of a year in Buffalo this year, seemingly on the ice all game, over 20 minutes a night for the Sabres, and as well put up a 60-point season for them.
Matt Dumba with a rocket that goes high off the glass. Stone back to Dumba. Mark Stone works it down the goal line to Hall. Hall had the puck knocked away by Serrani. And McDavid picks it back up. Connor McDavid centers and Shifley shoots, and again the glove save made by Hetnier.
Hetnier making two glove saves and with a little bit of flair snapping the leather as he catches them as well. This is the second of them here. Sweet move by McDavid, and there's Shifley again. Not far from where he made it 1-0. This off a pass from McDavid.
On a two-man advantage, Russia's taken a 3-2 lead on Kazakhstan. 5 goals in the first period there.
There will be no trapping.
Hall to McDavid. 40 seconds to go on the power play. And Hall has it back. Sarauer on the second try, bangs it off a skate now. Now fired down the ice by Istvan Shofrov. Who's ahead 2-0 here?
I think they're going to give up.
And now a steal. Shofron picks it up. And the puck slides back to center ice. Great scene the other day after Hungary lost 4-1 to Slovakia. They played the Slovak anthem. Oh, scores! Istvan Martelish fires it by Pickard, and it's 2-1. And now they're going to go off down there.
Martelish had an assist. He had 4 shots in the first game. An effective player in that opener, the loss that you mentioned, Gord, against Finland, or Slovakia rather. Excellent work on the forecheck by Janos Vash as he chases down Matt Dumba. Dumba has the puck slide off his stick as he's trying to carry it around the net. He's proudly outlet that pass. And it turns out to be a pass onto the tee.
And Martin Vash, the Hungarian captain, just asked for the puck. Keep down the bench for Hungary. So Martelish, another well-traveled Hungarian who spent most of his career in Sweden, played minor hockey there from the age of 14. That's a 2-1 game. Gallo slides it across. Erode moves in. And the puck is frozen by Pickard.
He's going to remember that for a long time. There's excellent work by Sofron on the forecheck. Dumba's going to try and carry the puck. And it slides off his stick. And that is a great moment for Istvan Martelish and for these folks from Hungary as they score against Canada, and it's 2-1.
Their closest game in 09 was against the Slovaks. They lost 4-3 on a goal with 13 seconds to go in the third period. Brought in now by Jenner for Gallagher. Puck stolen by O'Reilly. Ryan O'Reilly tried to bank that back. He got tied up there by Serrani. And brought out by Shaibu. Shaibu centers it. Janos Vash shoots, and Pickard makes the glove save.
we started against Slovakia, where they were in the game, they worked hard, they got some pretty decent goaltending to stay close. And what the Canadian players are going to find out, if they haven't already, is even if you overmatch somebody, this tournament means as much to them or maybe more to them as it does to you, and they're not going to give up. And you have to work, you have to match them. And a small mistake by Dumba turns into a goal, and a period where Canada's had most of the play, but Pickard's made a couple of good stops, is now 2-1.
And any team coached by Rich Chernamaz, who you know well, is probably going to have some fight.
Yeah, he was a pretty feisty competitor back in the day, a 50-goal scorer with the Victoria Cougars, a second-round pick by the New Jersey Devils.
Spent parts of 6 seasons in the NHL with New Jersey and Calgary. Then made himself a new life playing and now coaching in Europe. He spent 15 years as a coach in various German teams. He's also the coach of the Hungarian national junior team. They're in the 3rd level of the World Junior Competition with the likes of South Korea, Croatia, and the Netherlands. But we were talking with Hungarian broadcasters the other day, and well, the player pool, as Hall centers it, what was he telling you that in 09 was the player selection pool?
30. They had 30 players to pick from, this year 70. And now that they're playing in the World Championships, as we've often seen and heard, it gives younger players something to be charged about.
And there's something to be charged about for Istvan Bartalos. He has the Hungarian goal. Canada has 2. It's a 2-1 lead after 20 minutes. Our first intermission coming up next from the 2016 World Hockey Championship in St. Petersburg.
1, Canada, 2. Shots on goal. In first period, Canada, 11. Hungary, 5. Счет после первого периода. Венгрия, Канада, 1-2. Броски поворотов. Команда Канады, 11 бросков. Команда Венгрии, 5.
Good. Mark, maybe a little tighter after one period than you would have liked. What did you think of the number of scoring chances you had and what happened in the first?
Yeah, when we got pucks deep and got behind their D and established a cycle game, we started to generate a little more. So I think we just need a little more of that in the second.
Not a power play goal. It's always a work in progress at a tournament like this. How do you think the units are coming together and understanding the system that he wants?
I think we're starting to find a little chemistry. There's still, sometimes we're not sure where another guy is going to be, but that comes in a tournament like this. We just got to keep on working at it and hopefully pop a few more in.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you.
We'll keep him closer over here.
It's better one step more down there and the other on the side. Otherwise, if you have the cable, the other player also has to wait to go inside, and also the Canadian one had to
Go over it. Okay, sure.
Team Hungary is now Team Hungary is now Team Hungary is now
Introducing the 2016 IIHF Player Statistics. Team Statistics. Live updates. And introducing Hockey Cards. Your face, your team, your car. Share it with hockey fans across the world from any smart device in your own language. The 2016 IIHF app, powered by Skoda. Skoda. Simply clever.
Pirelli. I0.
Новая шина Pirelli i0 с уникальной технологией двойного шипа Dual Stat. Отличное сцепление и торможение на льду. Зимние шины Pirelli. Будь готов к русской зиме. Pirelli.
I0.
Наша скорость. Наша надежность.
István Martelis from Tiskareda. Hungary is a national hero today. He's got the goal. Their team trailing 2-1 to Canada. Don't forget, Ray, as you pointed out, Hungary had a great chance a minute into the game as well.
They actually played a pretty good first period. I mean, there were long stretches there where the Canadians were cycling the puck around the zone, and you can see where the issues are going to be for Hungary in this game is keeping up with the pace, but that's an excellent opening 20 minutes. Don't forget, Hungary's on back-to-back nights here too, so it's or back-to-back afternoons, both noon starts. It's not like this is going to get easier for them.
By the way, there were 26 shots taken in the Russia-Kazakhstan game in the first period. 6 of them went in.
You know what I call that, Gord?
Great hockey?
No, that's dodgeball.
You like dodgeball, don't you?
I love dodgeball. I think people will enjoy that. Don't give me this, oh, you can get lots of great 0-0 games. I'm sure you can, but I've seen a lot more bad 0-0 games. I'd prefer to see a bad 6-5 game.
Take your chance on a bad 6-5er?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, as we've seen over the years, it is never dull with the Russians around. Martelis back on it, shoots, and Pickard steers out of the way. Now another long shot, save made. Martelis slips that just wide of the goal. One shot there from Jesse Dudas, and Pickard had to be quick with the pad.
A heck of a shot from Dudas, and that's twice in 2 periods in the first minute or so that Calvin Pickard has had to make a right pad stop, a difficult one as well.
Chipped in by Erday, and it bounces down to Pickard. Plays it around, but Sarar knocks it down. Pickard gets a pad down. Rebound goes through. Sarar centers it. Oh, what a chance there for István Mesjian. That's turned away.
I think Morgan Riley slid and blocked that.
Now Duchesne centers it, and that pass knocked away by Mesjian. What a flurry there for Hungary. And now the play offside at the Hungarian line, but Cal Pickard under siege in the first 90 seconds of the second period.
Here's the Dudas point shot. Excellent pad stop. And this rebound is chipped off the glove of Ceci. That was Martelis' shot, chipped wide. Morgan Riley has the puck bounce off his skate. Gallo turned aside, as is Erdely, and this is going to be Riley right here sliding to the rescue. Absolute chaos in the 10 feet around the Canadian goal in the first 90 seconds of this period.
Gallagher slides it ahead. Mike Matheson has it. Long wrist shot. That's knocked away by Hetny. Matheson played most of the year in the American Hockey League for the Florida Panthers with Portland, but got into 3 regular season games and then wound up playing in the playoffs for them when the Panthers ran into injuries.
He's a really good prospect. I like the way he plays a lot. I was super impressed the way he played Game 6 in that series in Brooklyn.
First round pick in 2012 by the Panthers.
Like everybody else on this Canadian defense, 5 of the defensemen, 6 of the defensemen on Canada's defense were drafted in 2012. The only one that wasn't was Chris Tanev, who was signed as a free agent from RIT.
An undrafted free agent, so 2012 would be a pretty good year for Canada. Now Stone, another steal. Scheifele sends it in to Domi. Max Domi onside. Walks it across, finds Scheifele. Domi trying to center it. That's a hand pass called against Canada.
Scheifele opened the scoring on the power play, and a quick shot off a Mark Stone pass. There's Rich Chernomaz marking out some instructions to his team. And Canadian bench needs a little bit of a wakey-wakey here as they've slumbered through the first 3 minutes of this period.
Sarauer loses that face-off to Mark Scheifele.
8 in a row that Sarauer has lost in the face-off circle. And you get against guys that have a little more experience, maybe a little more variety of moves, a little stronger, and you got to find a different way.
Frank Bannon picks it up, slides it to Kovac. In comes Chasma Kovac. Taking a shot away. Slides it back to the point. Weird. Across to Garak. Now Now Sarauer on it. Centers it, and Kovac missed that as Scheifele knocked it away as Kovac comes sneaking in. Garat. Long lead pass, chipped in by Bartalos. Who has points in each of Hungary's first 2 games. Now Hall brings it in, along with Perry and Ceci. Hall, the shot that goes off the stick of Weers and wide. And Ryan Murray gathers up the loose puck for Ceci. Cody Ceci trying to find Perry, that's knocked away. In comes Hall with a steal, a rolling puck just out of his reach. Hall tried to bank it across to Perry, but the pass misfired. Balazs Scheibut. Through the middle, Bartalos takes that chip pass from Shawfrog. And Bartalos back on it. Loose behind the Canadian goal, Bartalos. Winds in, Bartalos still with it. And Ryan Murray trying to separate him. The puck is loose behind the Canadian goal, finally picked up by Hall. Rink wide for Brassard. And Dudas goes back for it, being shadowed there by Perry. Scheibut chips that by Dumba. And Shawfrog slides it down the Canadian zone where Brad Marchand picks it up. Marchand steps around Shawfrog, still has it. And McDavid got bumped off the puck there by Sarauer. McDavid steals it back, centers it for Marchand, but skips over his stick. Shots are 4-1 Hungary here in the second period. And Dumba throws it ahead. Picked up by Serrani. Finds it across to Gallo. Gallo spins back. The centering pass goes back to Mesjak. It's down low to Sarauer. Gallo back for Sarauer. Dumba lost his stick, and that shot tipped wide by Gallo. His pass goes off the leg. And Janos Vash goes back to pick it up. Vash jumps it across the Canadian line. Vash works his way in, shoots, and Pickard got just a piece of that. Now Dodge with a sharp angle shot, and Jericho Dodge turned away by Pickard. And let's keep piling up here in the second.
Taylor Hall added this assist in the first period as he went to the backhand. Corey Perry's able to put it away, and here in the second period, just about a foot or so away from a nose-to-nose chance against Hetney Hall. Assist today, a goal in the opener.
He had 7 goals in 10 games in the World Championship last year. Canada won a gold medal. Also played for Canada in the 2010 World Junior Championship in Saskatoon. We're going to the NHL as a first overall pick to the Edmonton Oilers. Martin Vash tries to chip that ahead, picked off by Tanev, puts it high in the air. And Vash trying to glove it down. Stipchits kick that away, and then sent to the sideboards by Vash. Gallagher centers it, loose puck sitting in front. Vash plays that away, and back down the Canadian line. Cody Ceci busts in a sharp angle shot that's gloved by Hetney, and he'll hang on. 13:40 left to go here in the second period. Canada with a 2-1 lead. Full-time replacement in Minnesota has been found. Bob McKenzie and Darren Drager reporting late last night here in Russia. And Bruce Boudreau will be going to Minnesota. It's hard to take your eyes off that cheering section.
They were just going crazy for the kiss cam.
Okay. Yeah, it's more than the kiss cam for them. Reinhardt works his way around, drops it back in front for Murray. Bounce off his skate, Sam Reinhardt. Down to Stone. Mark Stone flips it back. CC in, shoots. Blocked by Kovac. Playing around to Scheifele. Back for Murray. Ryan Murray into the wrist shot that was blocked by Kovac. And Murray has it back. He goes to Scheifele. Back to Murray. Across to CC. Long shot. Save made by Hetke. Now CC knocks it down the line. Finds Stone for Reinhardt. Sam Reinhardt picks it free. Centers it. Then comes Murray with a shot. Bounced off a leg and Stone has it back. Murray. On the feed from Reinhardt. Back to CC. Cody CC shoots. Hetke makes a save. Rebound, score! Scheifele batted at it. And Canada takes a 3-1 lead.
Not sure if it's Stone or Scheifele, another of those long cycle shifts for Canada. Ryan Murray gets involved and starts moving around the zone. He and Sam Reinhardt are going to play catch here. Nice little give and go. And CC's shot is right through the traffic. And that's Mark Stone who gets to it just before Scheifele. Watch Stone reach out and just tap it underneath Hetke, and it's 3-1 Canada. Really good shift. Reinhardt, Murray, CC working the puck up top, and then Stone and Scheifele down by the net.
Stone, second time around for Hockey Canada, played the 2012 World Junior Championship. He scored 7 goals in 6 games in that tournament and had a key goal post. Canada down 6-1 in the semifinal against Russia, got it back to 6-5, and with 40 seconds to go in the third period, Stone from the slot in the post.
Stone's game has just been on such an upswing the last few years, and you know, you talk about his success in the World Junior Tournament, a lot of that was from about 12 feet in the slot. I thought he was a bit of a clunky skater, might or might not have enough foot speed to succeed in the NHL, but he's worked really hard at it. He's become much stronger. His skating, to me, hasn't even come close to an issue. And he can shoot, he can score, he's smart. We always talk about the number of takeaways he gets. He's a terrific player for Ottawa.
23 goals in 75 games for the Senators this year. Second straight 20-plus goal year for him.
If he can just figure out the start of the year, he's going to put together some good numbers. He's always, the last 2 years, he's been a terrific second half player.
Corey Perry with a drive, kicked away by Hetke.
If Ottawa can get Stone and Mika Zibanejad to get going in the beginning of the year.
Sheebach with a little backhand shot into the line.
Zibanejad plays almost the whole second half of the season like a different guy. Ottawa's not that far away, I don't think. They've got some good young players. We saw Colin White at the World Junior Tournament last year. An excellent young player.
Just signed the defenseman Andreas Englund. He drafted out of Sweden. Second round pick. In comes Vilmo Gallo with it. Gallo peels back, drops it back to Mesjan. Mesjan loose in the corner. Shots are even now at 5 in the second period. In a 3-1 Canada lead. These are hard games to evaluate for the Canadian coaches and hard games to win, because if you win 9-0, you're supposed to. But now the talk will be with the fact that it was 2-1 with Hungary on the attack.
Whoa, look at him go.
What a move by McDavid. Flips it back across Marchand. In. Scores! On the feed from Connor McDavid, Brad Marchand makes it 4-1 Canada.
It's Marchand's second of the tournament, but this goal is all about Connor McDavid's explosiveness through the middle of the ice. His balance, his edge work, and flat-out speed pulls him away in the middle of the ice. Watch McDavid here. Frank Banham's leaning on him, now he's gone. And look at that little backhand dish. Just over the stick of the defender. A gentle pass from McDavid, and then Marchand almost gets stuck, and he wants to go to the backhand, and he shovels it underneath the arm of Hetke. And 2 quick ones, and this game looks a little more like people thought it might. It's 4-1. It's a couple assists for McDavid tonight. This afternoon?
Yeah, noon local start.
I don't know what time it is.
You know, it's nighttime in Vancouver, I think.
All I know is we've been here for most of the last day and a half. We have a long day in front of us, too.
First of 3 here today. Later on, it'll be Finland, Germany, then France against Slovakia. Get our second look at Patrick Laine for Finland. Vash tries to poke that ahead as Janos Vash had it turned away. And Ryan Murray plays it across to Cody Ceci. Up for McDavid. That pass knocked down by Christian Naj. And one of the other factors you talk about, Ray, you know, for the Hungarians to be here is a huge thrill. These guys will be able to watch NHL games on TV and see Connor McDavid years from now and say, I'm pretty against that guy.
And hopefully if the photographers are hot today, there'll be some pictures for them. I mean, like, that maybe sounds trivial, but man, that is awesome to be able to look one day back in the future and say, hey, look at that, that's me with McDavid, that's me with Taylor Hall, that's me with Brad Marchand, who's had a pretty good night. Afternoon, I'll get it right, yeah. In the first period, Marchand misses this breakaway. He almost gets another one here as the puck he blocked the shot, and then on the 2-on-1. Marchand's had the good fortune of playing with a couple of good centermen here. He plays in Boston with Patrice Bergeron. 37 goals, a career high this year for Marchand, and there he's on the receiving end of that sweet little dish from McDavid.
You talk about the picture. Last year in the World Championship, it was noted by the Canadians that wingers were deliberately scrambling draws to get their centerman kicked out so they can go and take a draw against Crosby. Make sure they got the picture. Domi centers, stolen the shot, stopped by Hetnier. Van Hutton back with it now. Slides it across. Matheson, little slap pass for Domi, trying to tap it back in front, played away by Bartala. Hutton in, shoots. Hetnier makes the stop and juggles the rebound.
Lord, we haven't really talked about the World Cup in September coming up, and Brad Marchand is probably one of those guys that's right around the edges of that roster. An excellent penalty killer. You could see him being on that team as an energy fourth line guy. Pretty good fourth liner, by the way.
37 goals scored the fourth line.
Mark Stone wants to be in that tournament as well.
Corey Perry wasn't named to the preliminary roster for Canada.
And then if you can figure out the European rosters and stuff, there's guys playing for that too.
Here's Hall with it now. Taylor Hall winds out of the corner. Drops it back. Perry with a hard shot. And Hetnier got a piece of that. Knocks it out of play.
Corey Perry does such a good job of finding a way to get himself loose. Not the best of skaters, never has been. It was a critique of his even when he was drafted in the first round. Will he be quick enough? Can he skate? And the game was different then. Yet Perry's able to find a spot, be able to deliver the puck. He's got a long reach, terrific hands around the front of the net. What was I guess, a bit of an off year for him, turned out to be 34 goals as well.
Now Perry back with it, works it back in front, slides it, gets a backhand shot away from his rear end. Perry was cut from the 04 Canadian junior team. Went on to lead the Ontario Hockey League in scoring that year. Tanev brings it around for Riley. Tanev shoots, finds the stick of Derek Brassard. Brassard taps it home. It's 5-1 Canada.
It's a really nice look from Chris Tanev as he went across the seam to Brassard, who had an assist in the first game. He's got a goal and an assist now. Watch Brassard in front of the net. Stipchich is looking at the puck. He gets tied up with Taylor Hall, and that leaves Voss tending to no one. Tanev head up. Brassard does a nice job to just corral the puck. It bounces off of Hetnier. Hetnier can't get to it, Brassard can. Canada leads by 4.
So Brassard's first goal as a member of Team Canada. He has points in both games. That's a 5-1 lead, so 5 goals on 12 shots here in the second period. If there's the thought on Perry, He won the OHL scoring title after being cut by the Canadian junior team. The next year, he was leading the OHL in scoring again. It was almost cut again by Coach Brent Sutter, but he scored 3 goals in the last 2 scrimmages. So they kept him as the 13th forward. Thought maybe he'd play a little power play. As Domi comes in, one up on the top line with Sidney Crosby and Patrice Bergeron. Habs had fired it wide, and they tore that tournament apart.
That was lockout year, right?
Yeah.
That team could have done a decent job in the NHL, probably.
Well, 14 of them played in the NHL the next year. Domi in, shoots, and it's blocked. And 6 of them played in the Olympics for Canada 5 years later. They'd be a little over the cap now.
That didn't be a team together for very long.
No. Button slides it across to Matheson. In, shoots, scores! Mike Matheson slides it home, and it's 6-1. And we'll get a goalie change now for Hungary.
Matheson just shovels this to the front of the net. Hetiniu had an excellent start to the game. He's come apart here a little bit in the second period, and this just goes underneath his glove. And it's 4 goals in a row for Canada here in the second period, and it's 6-1.
So Adam Bay will come on for Hungary in goal. 22-year-old who was the 3rd goaltender for the first game, didn't dress.
Was scored by number 7,
From Budapest.
Michael Matheson.
Spent the previous 2 years playing for El Paso in the Western States Hockey League,
Number 55,
which is an amateur league, not even say hockey sanctioned, by the way. So 6 goals on 23 shots against for Hector, and the play is offside at the Hungarian line. 6-1 Canada leads at the 2016 World Hockey Championship.
Number 7. Team Hungary. Goalkeeper change. Out of goal, number 29, Zoltan Hetini. And into the goal, number 30, Adam Way. Комментирует замена вратаря. Ворота защищает Адам Вей, номер 30.
Well, they had to know this was possible. Zoltan Hetnier, the backup for the Hungarians, gets the start in this one. Miklos Reina, who was the starter for Hungary against Slovakia, is not even dressed today. They've got the 3rd goaltender in now, Adam Bay. Save your best chance for the game you got a best chance to win. Reina was the goaltender last year in the B pool when they got promoted to the World Championship main group.
Day off tomorrow for them.
Now a centering pass. Duchesne walks in, goes off the stick. And Cody Ceci holds the line for Canada. Ceci walks in, shoots. That's blocked by Weir. Duchesne throws it back in front and knocked down again by Ceci. Ceci for McDavid. Marchand out of got flipped by him. Scheibel plays it to the line and out. Duchesne picks it up for Canada. Fired ahead by Murray, he falls. And Ceci has it across for McDavid. In with Duchesne. Matt Duchesne looks in the corner now with it. The pass moved up to Bartalich, who has the Hungarian goal. Fires it off a stick high off the glass. Scheibel looking for it, plays it back for Garrett at the line. Garrett a long shot. Get a teammate up high. Then it's Sarauer. Now Sarauer has it back for Garrett. Puck goes off the leg of Duchesne and back up to center ice. Charles now 25-11 in Canada's favor. By the way, in Moscow, still 3-3. Pass to be reported the second period there after a 6-goal first. Gallo centers it. Now it bounces by Serrani and back up to center. Gallo for Erday. Brassard drops it back, and Vash, fan of the one-timer, is Martin Vash couldn't reach that. Now Vash, the Hungarian captain, plays it to the line and out. Air day. Looks ahead for Sarauer.
George, you talked that 3-3 tie over in Moscow. From my random pleasures of this tournament, it's the gold numbers of Kazakhstan that have no connection to any other color on the jersey. And we're going to get a look at all the Canadian goals. Mark Scheifele on the power play, Taylor Hall to Corey Perry. That's in the first period. Mark Stone made it 3-1. Brad Marchand off the McDavid feed. Brassard chips this one past Hetny, and then Michael Matheson ends Zoltan Hetny's day with his first of the tournament and a 6-1 Canadian lead.
You know, Ray, if you had to wear a hockey sweater to a wedding, I think you might wear Kazakhstan's.
You could always match it with something. There's a lot of colors, a lot going on that thing.
It's white, gold, very elegant.
There's also some green.
Yeah, a little red.
A little red. Because why wouldn't there be?
Danev chips it out for Ryan O'Reilly. Snaps that pass rink line, but it bounces off the stick of Riley. And Janos Vash plays it back in.
I can't imagine that's the way the Russians thought this tournament would start. A 3-0 loss to the Czechs, and who almost lost to Latvia in their second game, had to score late to tie it up and win it in extra time.
Now Hall got spun around. There'll be a penalty for Hungary's Istvan Mesjan with 4:13 to go in the period. And you know, the Russians haven't been great on home ice in the last couple of World Championships here. They lost to Canada in the gold medal game in 07, but prior to that, the trip was here in St. Petersburg. They were 7th.
The wheels can fall off pretty quick. I mean, when you think of it, though, you finish 7th, that means you lost the quarterfinal.
Right.
You get in that quarterfinal game, we've seen some pretty strange stuff happen.
Right. Scotty Bowman's greatest Montreal team went 16-2 in the playoffs. They lost 2 games. That's quarterfinal here. You're not in the top 6.
They probably wouldn't have lost the quarterfinal game.
Probably not.
Not that team.
And the puck just across the line. It's called offside as Morgan Riley couldn't hold it. But that's the game that scares you. And for all the success Canada had last year, going 10-0 and winning the gold medal, in the 5 years previous to that, every year Canada lost in the quarter. Single elimination.
Those are such great fun to play in. They really are. Everything gets kicked up a little different. It's different than, of course, in a playoff series.
Perry for Brassard, trying to tap that across. It was knocked away by Jesse Dudas, and a chance now 2-on-1. Vitalik in, sends it across. Oh, what a save by Pickard as he takes it away from Isman Shafrov. And a shorthanded break for Hungary.
Bartalish, a beautiful feed to Safron, and Pickard with the paddle save.
Wow. Desperation,
just hangs out the stick and makes the stop.
He's been good for Canada when he's had to be. Early saves in both periods.
He has a second-round pick in 2010 by Colorado, and funniest competition for the backup job probably is Brett O'Bara, who gave up a 150-footer yesterday against Kazakhstan.
Game Switzerland lost in a shootout to the Kazakhs. McDavid centers for Scheifele, in, shoots, that's blocked. 35 seconds to go in the Canadian power play. The best chance has gone to Hungary.
Pickard had 14 decisions, 7 wins in Colorado this year, and over 92 save percentage.
Hall got bumped. Scheifele plays it across for Stone. Mark Stone works it down to McDavid, lines his way in. McDavid holds. Brings it back in front. Scheifele with a shot, saved by May. Here's Stone back with it. Final seconds now of this Canadian power play. Stone across to McDavid. McDavid in, shoots. That's blocked by Magoshi.
For players that are great skaters, watching Connor McDavid live, he's elegant. The way that he moves on the ice. It's like his skates never dig into the ice. He makes little pivots and turns. Just an amazing young player to watch.
Marchand to steal. And Across it goes to Jenner. Ooh, Jenner drops it back. Gallagher shoots. He fired it wide. We got a penalty coming. Interference will be the call. It's going to go against Brad Marchand. And he's going to have a conversation with referee Linus Olin all the way to the box.
Marchand's going to pump the puck out wide. There's the penalty as he knocks the stick out of the hands of the defender. Here's that 2-on-1 beautiful pass from Bartalos. Oh, it goes underneath Morgan Riley's foot. I thought it went over top. It went underneath his foot. And Pickard with the effort to keep it out with the paddle of his stick.
First power play for Hungary in the game. Down 6-1.
Frank Banham scored on the power play in the first game.
Went off his foot.
Doesn't matter. It's a goal.
I wasn't arguing, just, I was giving some more color to it.
Just trying to get the spirit of the thing.
Just capture the spirit of the thing, right? Here comes Bartalos. Those think it's a bad goal.
The first NHL goal was a slap shot, not mine. Hit me in the knee and went in the net. Didn't care, it was in the net. Hurt like heck, but it was in.
Bartalos drops it back. And a hard shot fired on goal by Peters goes just wide. Pickard might have got a piece of that. Now Dudas back with it. Bartalos. Brings wide to Champron. Got it there by Cody Ceci. 40 seconds to go in the period. O'Reilly trying to pick it up. Canada scored short-handed. And it's over against the United States. As Jenner looks it down to the Hungarian end. 26-12 overall, the shots on goal for Canada. 15-7 here in the period. Hungary had 4 of the first 5 shots in the second period. Morgan Riley back forward, handles it off the glass. And down the ice it goes. Final seconds now in the period. Martin Vash tries to play that ahead. And his brother, Janos Vash, sends it down, but Canada legs it up. Here in period number 2, Mike Matheson has one of the goals. As Canada strikes for a 6-1 lead after 40 minutes. And these fans are still going. Second intermission coming up for the World Championship.
Canada 6. Shots on goal on the second period. Canada 15. Hungary 8. После второго периода счет 6-1 в пользу Канады. Броски по воротам во втором периоде. Канада 15, Венгрия 8.
Good to go? Yeah. Brad, through 28 minutes, it was just a one-goal game. How did your team do in terms of staying calm on the bench, and what were you saying to each other at that point?
Yeah, we knew that if we kept pushing our game a little more on them and played the way we can, we were going to separate ourselves, and I thought we did a much better job at that in the second period.
Goal by you opened the offense up a little bit, a nice finish, but can you just discuss the play that Connor made to push the puck up ice?
Yeah, he's obviously an incredible player, and he will be for a long time. He made a phenomenal play there, using his speed, and pretty much give me a breakaway, so great play by him.
Helps to get some offensive confidence going for this group, putting this many goals in?
Yeah, it does. Anytime you let a team like this hang around, and you give them a lot of life and energy. So we did a really good job at, like I said, separating ourselves and having a big period.
Thanks, Brad.
Thank you.
Все на спорте. Сейчас новости, видео, интервью. Попади в точку. Чемпионат.ком. Чемпионат. Главное слово в спорте. Он всегда скрыт от взглядов, его хватка не вызывает сомнений. Именно на нем все держится. И когда нужен результат, его обеспечит Целизит. За надежную хватку отвечает плиточный клей, а затирка за безупречный внешний вид. За результатом стоит Целизит. Качество для профессионалов.
Это больше, чем спортивная форма. Это знак почета, символ гордости. И когда они надевают его, они не просто игроки. Они атланты, несущие на плечах свою страну, храбро сражаясь против лучших в мире. Именно спине вам ничего не скажет. Главное – это герб на груди. Самые яркие звезды хоккея съедутся в Торонто, чтобы выяснить, чья сборная сильнее. Кубок мира по хоккею 2016. Билеты уже в продаже.
В Москве заканчивается второй период матча между командами Казахстана и России. Россия выигрывает со счетом 4-3. Teams of Kazakhstan and Russia are playing now in Moscow. Team Russia leads 4-3.
lead after 2 periods of play. Ray, what's your assessment of the Canadian play so far?
Pretty good to start. Good power play goal. Strong most of the first period. Little nap at the start of the second period. And then they got to roll in a bit. I think probably a relatively predictable game. No matter how hard the coaches tell the players to be prepared, you can't lock in until you get scared.
Right.
And when the game's 2-1, and Hungary has 5 of the first 6 shots of that period.
And now Dudas walks in, and Pickard makes the blocker save on him.
You know, all of a sudden Canada gets going once Mark Stone scored. Then the door opened.
And in all 3 periods, Hungary's had a good scoring chance in the first minute.
This is great. Pickard standing down, the net is turned sideways.
It's going to be hard to score now.
Well, unless you get it from the side. He's not even defending it. The initial shot, and Pickard backed up into it.
Bill Peters talking to Dave Cameron, the other assistant coach for Canada.
Man, these nets come off easy, don't they?
Yeah.
That was not much of a bump from Pickard, as the goaltenders are used to using that post as a backstop. When they slide back into the net, they have their skate bang up against it. They know exactly where they are. They're using it as almost like a GPS.
Would say, though, I'd rather nets too easy than too hard, and having witnessed Jamie Hislop of Calgary slide both knees into a goalpost that did not move, that shredded both his knees.
Well, I mean, for a lot of us, we grew up when those pegs went in the net. That thing was there for an eternity. You were never knocking it off. The only way it came off was when somebody lifted it off.
Here's Perry down below the Hungarian goal. Corey Perry walks it out. Perry still with it. And finally knocked on the ice by Sarah.
Gord, how many times when something traditional is to be changed, the traditionalists say, oh, you can't change it, you can never change it because it's always been that way. Now you can't even really remember when the posts were pegged into the net. It's supposed to be the way that it is now.
McDavid flips it across to Shane, missed on that. And the best example I can remember is you watching a lot of American League games saying that you won't even notice the hybrid icing. You watched 60 games of American League that year and said, after 30, you don't even think about it.
You don't even think of it. And right now, there's calls you go, is that right or not? I don't even know if it matters enough to make a difference. The fact that nobody gets hurt on an icing call, whether it's one guy a year or not, means it's the right rule. I don't think it becomes an issue at all.
And you still want the race for the puck. You don't want people giving up on it. It made a total difference.
Remember what a debate 3-on-3 was.
Dudas with a shot that goes just wide.
Dudas can shoot the puck. Remember 3-on-3, Ken Holland fought that thing for a decade. Now that it's in, pretty entertaining stuff.
And the puck over the glass rule. In a lot of respects, Ray, the IIHF has been ahead of the NHL in terms of rules. As Stone brings it in, Mark Stone walks in, shovels it across, and missed Shankly with that.
There's safety rules for sure, and you've brought up the point several times that
there's a sharp angle shot squeezed by Adam Bay on the stick of Shankly.
That with the way that, as we get a look at Connor McDavid's night, 2 assists, and after a quiet opener, he had the assist on the first Scheifele goal, this gorgeous feed to Brad Marchand, and McDavid certainly has been a dangerous player on the cusp of a 4 or 5 point night. But you've brought up the point several times in some of the international competitions, the disparity of the players. They've got to protect the players, and that's led to more stringent rules and hitting to the head and hitting from behind. And
they afford every player equal protection.
Really the way it should be.
Right, so made across to Domi now. Max Domi drops it back. In comes Tanev with a bouncing puck. Tanev still on it now. Loose behind the Hungarian goal. Tanev. Back to Morgan Riley. Just missed the stick of Domi. Out the other side it goes to Ryan O'Reilly. He missed it, and Tanev has it back. Domi down to Gallagher. IIHF took the red line out before the NHL. It was tougher on obstruction before the NHL was. Domi walks in, slams it across to Tanev. Tanev Drops it back to Morgan Riley. Here's Riley back with it. Slides it across, and Brassard with the shot that goes just wide. Remember the first time Canadians got a look at the stringent obstruction rules that came into play in 1999 for the World Junior Winnipeg. Tom Rennie was coaching Team Canada that year. Wondering what was going on. Every time they had a stick on someone, it was a penalty. And now doing this across the line, it's offside.
That was almost, I would say, the biggest change that we've had to the game when that first came in the last 20 years or so. When we used to do drills at practice where we would work on interfering with the other players. Get in front of them was a constant chirp from the bench, from the coaches. Slow them down, interfere with them. It's a penalty now.
I didn't say it was a fun change, it was a change.
Well, it wasn't much fun when you were trying to slog your way through the neutral zone, and it was basically a cage match from blue line to blue line.
You scored 408 goals.
There was, I would say, the neutral zone opened up a great deal, and the front of the net became a place you could actually stand for a few seconds.
In comes Hall with Brassard. Taylor Hall in, scores! Taps it. It appears off defenseman Kevin Weirs, and it's 7-1.
Hall has 2 points tonight, basically on the same play, a 2-on-1. This one he holds on to a little bit too long. He's doing his best to work this across the front of the net. Good play by Matheson to chip it up the boards. He wants to go across to Brassard. The play gets taken away, and this goes off of Weirs and through the legs of Adam Bay. But he wants to pass it the whole way. And it's 7-1.
And the Canadians, out of respect for their opponent, are out doing the bench fly by the glove tap. All went straight to the bench.
That's the way it should be.
Goal scored by number 4, Taylor Hall. Шайбу забросил Taylor Hall, номер 4.
Works it back to Murray. Ryan Murray feeds it across to Ceci. 7-1 Canada leads with a 9-0 score over Hungary back in 2009. That was Hungary's first appearance in the top group in 70 years. Hungary played the first 8 World Championships. It was one of the founding nations of the IIHF. Now a penalty coming.
That's Marchand again.
And again, the discussion continues, this time with a different referee, Anton Jeremic. For a guy who takes as many penalties as he does, Marchand sure likes to argue them.
That's interference. Garat is standing there. Marchand runs right through him. A breakaway goal for Marchand off the McDavid feet. Short-handed goal in the first game.
Scheibling with it now. Whizzing across to Martin Bosch. And Bosch, the Hungarian captain, has it back. Bosch played for the Hawkesbury Hawks in the Central Ontario Junior League back in 99 and 2000.
Did they play the Pickering Panthers?
No, different league. This is Eastern Ontario, the Ottawa area.
See, I'm not as familiar with the Ontario stuff now. If you get into the Fernie Ghost Riders and the Castlegar Rebels and the Trail Junior Smokers, and that's our BC league.
Good to know. Hawkesbury Hawks famous for Bob Hartley coaching them. It's his first high-level coaching job where he got to the Quebec Major Junior League and then on to the American League and the NHL. And famously worked at the Windshield Factory while they coached there. That puck is juggled and held by Adam Bay. 58 seconds to go. And the penalty to Brad Marchand. Absolutely having a laugh on the Canadian bench. So this is the lull in the schedule. You've got Hungary today, Belarus, then Germany, followed by Slovakia, France, and Finland. If you were drawing up a schedule, if Canada could give itself its own schedule, you'd want to finish with a hard game.
You would. You'd like to sprinkle your tough ones one every couple of days if you could, or one every couple of games rather. And it's going to be tough to keep focus here for Bill Peters and his coaches as we get a look at Rich Chernovaz behind the Hungarian bench. You want the guys to be sharp, and it's tough. I'm telling you, I've played in enough of these tournaments. It's tough to practice and stay sharp. And, you know, the games become, if you stretch them out like this, I don't know that the guys are gaining a whole lot here. I mean, last year they steamrolled through everybody and all of a sudden fell asleep against France and almost lost. It turned out to be a 4-3 win.
Belarus will be a tough opponent tomorrow. Belarus has given teams games where it beat the United States last year. And the Slovaks.
Belarus will be down, I assume, a defenseman. I don't think that decision's been handed down yet, but a headbutt penalty.
Geo-block got a match penalty for a headbutt yesterday. His team in the game down 2-0 in pressing.
If you didn't watch Belarus yesterday, you're going to get a load of one of their defensemen, Oleg Yavenko, who's about 6'7" or 8", and he was in the middle of it the entire night.
In comes Marchand out of the box, slides it across, and a save made on Brendan Gallagher by Adam Bay.
I would say these two players are probably going to be in competition for one of those last spots at the World Cup, Gallagher and Marchand. And Marchand speeds to the outside. Gallagher's shot is denied by Adam Bay.
12:38 to go here in the period. 7-1 Canada leads. Day 3 of the World Hockey Championship here in St. Petersburg, Russia. First of 3 games here today. Canada beating Hungary 7-1. Then we have Finland, Germany coming up next, followed by France and Slovakia tonight. In Moscow, it's 4-3. Russia leading Kazakhstan, and Kazakhstan has just tied it early in the third period. Back and forth they go in that one. Later on today there, Norway plays Switzerland, and then Sweden faces Denmark. Sam Reinhardt, he's taken down. Reinhardt back up. Lays it down for Ben Hutton. Hutton for Marchand. Feeds it across to Dumba. Up for Reinhardt. Pass picked off by Serrani. Dumba looks in for Reinhardt. That's picked off. And Serrani has it back. Finds Gallo. In, shoots high in the air, and Pickard waved at that as it went high and wide. And now Gallo has it back. And a steal now by McDavid. Works in with Marchand. McDavid drops. Marchand winds his way in, bobbled the puck for a moment. And Marchand tries to feed it back, but it's picked off by Vilmos Gallo. Gallo centered it. McDavid ranges back to pick that off. He's got Marchand with the lead pass. And Canada's chasing. Marchand comes in alone. Stripped him of the puck. And Gallo chips it down in the Canadian zone. Perry. Just Brassard with that pass, brought back by Chaffron. This pass deflected wide and moved down to Riley. For Hall. Taylor Hall with it now. Slides it ahead. And as Duna stepped into him, and they get the microscope out and call icing against Canada. He might have been a quarter of an inch behind the red line when he shot it in.
There might not have been any need to blow that down for icing. Taylor Hall is a goal here in the third period, an assist in the first period. productive tournament last year. Lots of rumors floating around the Edmonton Oilers between now and the draft.
Dudashuk was off the foot of Hall. That stung Taylor Hall, remains out there, and now heads to the Canadian bench.
Peter Chiarelli, is their general manager's made some remarks since the end of the year that doesn't seem like status quo is in the plans. Whether that involves getting into the group that's been there a long time seems more likely than less likely.
High pick of the draft coming up, the 4th pick. O'Reilly for Gallagher. But again, it's a forward-heavy draft. As Hutton ranges back for Canada.
That pick becomes collateral.
Now a chance in front. Hungary's out shooting Canada 4-3 here in the period. Lead pass goes to Domi. Max Domi. Slides it across for Ceci. That pass broken up by Naj. And Mestian brings it ahead. And that puck chopped in the crowd by Magoshi. And the faceoff will come outside.
We'll see whether the Oilers use that pick to move, package it with a player, chase a restricted free agent defenseman. Anaheim's got a boatload of those guys.
A lot of NHL executives are here already at this World Championship. Normally they would arrive in week 2, but this tournament has become very fertile ground for undrafted free agents to be signed. The scout players who maybe have left North America, gone back to Europe.
The 7 picks only per round, or per year. You can perhaps look at an older player, a 26 or 27-year-old that's been a successful player in Europe. Maybe you find a role player, a guy that can help you and becomes an unexpected contributor.
And now you've got the top 2 prospects for the upcoming draft playing here. It's Austin Matthews of the U.S. and Patrick Laine of Finland, who will go head-to-head tomorrow.
Yeah, but if you're in the 4th or 5th pick, you're not watching those 2 guys.
You probably won't get a chance at them. Chance now for Frank Banham, and Ben Hutton knocked that away from him. Anton Belov has scored for Russia, now 5-4 there.
It's 2 for Belov today, I believe.
Former Edmonton Oiler, he was signed into the World Championship by the Oilers. Duchesne on it. Tied up there by Stipschitz. And Gallo goes across to Kovac. And now fired down again, an icing call against Canada. 8:40 to go in the 3rd period. Just morning in parts of Canada, very early in the western part, but want to say Happy Mother's Day to everyone back home. We send our thoughts as well to those of you in northern Alberta who have endured a horrible situation with the fires there that are now threatening to spread as far away as Saskatchewan.
It's almost unfathomable to see the pictures here. We wake up in the morning and we see pictures and read the stories. It's just a terrible, terrible situation, and we can only hope for the best.
We encourage those at home to do what you can to help.
It's been pretty impressive to read the stories of those that have opened their homes and volunteered and donated, and just hope for better days.
And rain. Gallo in, shoots, and Pickard makes the stop. So to my mom, Florence, happy Mother's Day. To our wives, Sarah and Cammie.
Miss my mom a lot on Mother's Day. It's been 12 years since Mom's passed, and my boys are lucky to have Cammie looking after them, I'll tell you.
For long stretches while we
do whatever it is that we do.
Traipsing across Europe. Shots are 5-3 Hungary here in the 3rd period.
It's been a good day for Calvin Pickard. A game after Cam Talbot did a good job in the Canadian goal as well. Just 2 goalies on this Canadian roster. If they need to get a third goalie here, they'll deal with that when the time comes. They certainly will have somebody on standby.
We've made 13 starts for Colorado this year. And the days of the 70-start goaltender appear to be waning as Taylor Hall brings it in, shoots, and a glove save made by Adam Bay. 7:53 to go in the third period. Canada with a 7-1 lead. Canadians in the crowd here. Talk about a long way to come. Families will arrive later this week, but these folks have stolen the show here in St. Petersburg the first 3 days. They're everywhere downtown. They brought more than one sweater. Think so?
No, I don't know. I'm going to say not.
You can say not? We should talk. We're recycling suits, so some more than others. Penalty coming to Hungary here. As it's touched up by Serrani, and Canada got a power play with 7:42 to go, a holding call. Will go against Hungary's Andrew Sarauer, or probably Bullet Magoshi.
It wasn't so much the left hand, it was the right hand when he grabbed the jersey. And
always find it funny when the guy takes the one hand off but keeps the other one in there. Now you look like you're running in a rodeo.
So Canada goes back to the power play here, and Bill Peters will use this as some practice time as they still go with the 4 forwards and Matt Dumba.
And Dumba holds the line for Canada down to Hall. Finds Shifley alone in front. Shifley shoots, and Voss makes the save on him. Or Bay, rather, makes the save on him.
You've confused your Vay and Voss.
I've got 2 Vosses and a Vay to keep track of here. 2 Pences and 2 Istvans. No one said this was going to be easy. McDavid winds his way in, drops it off for Stone. Stone banks it back for Dumba, and Canada gets set up. Here's McDavid with it. Hall standing in front. Back to Dumba, winds and shoots. And Bay makes the stop with Voss standing in front of him to clear the rebound.
Shifley has a power play goal in the first period. He tries to slide this back against the flow of play against Vay. Vay just gets the right pad on it, deflects it away.
Loose in the corner now for Ryan O'Reilly. Next unit comes on. O'Reilly back for Derek Brassard. Brassard winds and shoots, and Bay kicks it away. O'Reilly to Brassard. Back to CC. O'Reilly back with it. CC. Across the top. Drops it back to Brassard. Lots of traffic. A wrist shot goes off the stick of Bank. Up and out of play.
Brassard has a couple of points today as well, an assist in the first, a goal in the second. He's put together some pretty good years in New York. Came over in the trade with Columbus for Marian Gaborik. 58 points this year.
First 20 goal year, he had 27. And they needed them in New York. Brassard, Perry centers it, and Duchesne misfires. Duchesne is laboring as he is out of the zone. He drops it off to Duchesne. O'Reilly bounces back to Duchesne, goes the other way to Perry. Corey Perry leads it with 30 seconds to go in this power play. Perry flips it ahead to O'Reilly. Ryan O'Reilly works it back into the goal line. He goes. And Duchesne slides that through the crease. Broussard back for Ceci. Back to O'Reilly. Shoots. Bay makes the save. Duchesne bats it down. And plays it across to Broussard. Back to Ceci. Ceci's shot knocked away by Janos Bash. And the penalty to Hungary is over. Stipchits across to Morton Bosch. Bosch takes a return pass for Sarauer and plays it back to him. Sarauer loose in the corner with it. Tries to center it. Scheibuk missed it. And Bosch's centering pass broken up by Hall. O'Reilly snaps that pass ahead. Misses McDavid with it, but McDavid negates the ice by getting there first. Shovels it back in front, and Hall had a shot blocked. Tanev across to Hutton. Van Hutton through the traffic that's tipped just high. Now Scheifele on it. Mark Scheifele centers it. Hall trying to pick it out. And brought back by Bartelis. A backhand shot. And the man who was Hungary's goal turned away by Calvin Pickard. Now Pickard up to play it. And the puck almost stolen there by Chaufron. And now settled down by Van Hutton. Hall plays it ahead, bouncing puck at center ice.
We'll do another penalty here somewhere.
Yeah, train officials got the call. It's going against Hungary as Kevin Weirs will go off for interference. And the derisive whistles coming from the Hungarian fans.
They turned him out and say, what was that for? It's an interference penalty in the middle of the ice.
Number 26, Kevin Weirs. 2 minutes penalty for interference.
Russia scored a power play goal. Now up 6-4 on Kazakhstan in the third.
Are you willing to say that game is safe?
No.
Kevin Weirs.
Never. Ceci to O'Reilly on the Canadian power play. Cody Ceci shoots. Dribbles off a stick and wide. Now Duchesne on it. Ceci. Works it down to O'Reilly. Ryan O'Reilly back for Ceci. For Broussard. To the goal line to Perry. Trying to center it. That pass broken up by Sharani. By the way, after the loss to Slovakia, the Hungarian team stayed on the ice and their fans sang the anthem to them after the Slovak anthem had played. And we understand it's probably going to happen again today. And the losing team is supposed to leave the ice. So the Hungarians want to salute their fans. We'll stay afterwards and see if, once again, these tremendous Hungarian fans serenade their team. Scheifele drops it off for McDavid. Works it and shoots, and save made by Bay. McDavid back on it. Got knocked down by Dudas, picks up the puck, feeds to Scheifele. And Dudas took it away from him and knocks it back down the ice.
Well, they've hung in there pretty good. They really have. I don't know that anybody thought the result would be any different than this, but they've tested Calvin Pickard more than a few times.
Scheifele works in, trying to go rink wide. Centering pass, McDavid kicks it wide. In comes Hall. Taylor Hall shoots. And Bay makes the glove save. 6 seconds to go in the Canadian power play.
Adam Bay's given up one goal tonight since he came in relief. It was the Taylor Hall goal that bounced in off Weirs, the defenseman.
So it's 1 goal on 13 shots he's faced.
Pretty busy shooters there. Canada spent a lot of the second half of the game on the power play here.
Aaron plays it back up to center ice, and the teams are back even straight. 2.5 to go in the third period. Canada on route to its 12th consecutive win at the World Championship. Undefeated last year, about to go 2-0 in this year's tournament. Ryan Murray. Mike Matheson plays it down to the Hungarian zone. Bay on the plate. And Chereny has it back. For Erde to Bannon.
2 minutes left in the third period.
Play called offside at the Canadian line.
Watching the ringleader of the fans here. He's got his back to the ice. I don't know how much of the game he's seen. He's pretty busy. He's got them going. They've got various chants going, different.
The three amigos from Hungary there with the mustaches and the black hats. I gotta get myself one of those red, white, and green cowboy hats. A Hungarian cowboy hat.
Sure. Look great on you.
Still hopping, still cheering. Domi works it back in front. Play is called. We got 2 going off here. Max Domi will go for Canada.
You know, Gord, I would say one of the most fun environments that I've been in as I watched the Hungarian fans jump up and down was last year in Prague when the entire rink was doing it. And we could feel it vibrate under our feet. That was amazing.
And in the train afterwards.
Well, it's the same thing in the train.
You know, from the outside it was a 7-1 game. It's a blowout. Promoted teams get drilled so often here. For these players, for these fans, it's a great occasion.
It's been a great afternoon for you. It really has.
Max Domi, 2 minutes penalty for roughing.
Scored a goal.
Team Hungary.
And maybe they surprise somebody later in the tournament.
52. Jesse Dudas.
Oh, to win a game of the tournament would be.
And now a quick chance there for Bill Moscallo, turned away by Pickard.
To win a game would be an incredible accomplishment for them.
Now, the last country in the world that wants to see that is Italy. The Italians are waiting on the results of this tournament to see if they get promoted next year. We know that Slovenia is going up. The only circumstance under which Italy would not be promoted would be if France and Germany finish 7th and 8th in this group. It's unlikely. But don't forget, France and Germany played yesterday and split 3 points. So Hungary to win a game of regulation, they would jump again ahead of the French and Germans. It's unlikely. But last year there was only one way Austria could be relegated. If a game went to a shootout and the right team won it. Well, the wrong team for them. And that's exactly what happened.
Bing, bing, bing. That's
out they went.
Yep.
Now race for, look at Pickard come way out and play it. Kovac on it now. Under a minute to go now in the third period. Canada with a 7-1 lead. Ryan Murray drops it back for Ryan O'Reilly. Up ahead for Taylor Hall. Hall winds in. And Chaffron has it back for Hungary. The Hungarians back in action against France on Tuesday. As that long shot is squeezed by Pickard. He's got a hold of it with 36 seconds to go in the period. We've got 2 more games to come here today. Finland and Germany, followed by France and Slovakia. In the other rink in Moscow, Norway and Switzerland, followed by Sweden and Denmark. Riley picks up the puck off the face-off. Swings back and drops it back for Tanev. .20 seconds to go in the third period. Hungarians got 2-1, 1 point. Outshot Canada 4-1 to open the second period, but then Canada opened the floodgates. And it'll go in the books as a 7-1 win, running Canada's record to 2-0 in this tournament. That's 12 straight wins in the World Championship back to last year.
7 goals, a solid night, a solid afternoon from Calvin Pickard.
There's the first star right there. So we'll stay for the presentation of the Player of the Game Awards. Oh, Canada. And then see if the Hungarians salute their fans again. And why wouldn't they?
36, Hungary, 22.
Istvan Bartalos had the Hungarian goal. Their first against Canada at the World Championship since the 1930s.
The best players of each team will be awarded by Raiffeisen Bank International, official sponsor of the 2016 IIHF Ice Hockey World Championship. Дамы и господа, Raiffeisen International Bank, официальный спонсор чемпионата мира по хоккею 2016. Учредил специальные призы лучшим игрокам матча.
Hungarian fans wait for the announcement.
Призы вручает Сюзанна Кольменхайр, IIHF Council Member, член Совета Международной Федерации Хоккея Сюзанна Кольменхайр, the best player of Team Hungary, лучший игрок в команде Венгрии. Number 28, номер 28, Istvan Bartalos.
Bartalos scored the goal.
And a goal, a couple of dangerous chances as well.
Petersburg, LOC representative. Призы вручает Сергей Иванович Кулешов, представитель комитета по подготовке и проведению чемпионата мира по хоккею с шайбой в Санкт-Петербурге. The best player of Team Canada, лучший игрок в команде Канады. Number 8, номер 8, Крис Теннер.
Chris Tanev voted Canada's Player of the Game. These are selected by the Canadian management staff. So now the official part of the program, the Canadian anthem, followed by the unofficial part where the Hungarians sing to their team.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of today's game winner, Canada.
Post-game handshakes. One of the best parts of this sport, right? An intense, physical, often violent game. When it's over, shake hands, wish the others well.
It's always better to be on the good side of this handshake, because sometimes this is a long way through.
4 Canadians in that handshake lineup for Hungary. Next up for Canada, will be tomorrow against Belarus, and a 2-day break in Germany on Thursday. Hungarians are making their way down to the end where their fans are. And they'll line up, and their fans will sing to them. The anthem is known as Hymnus.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm thanks to volunteers who help in organization of these games. Дамы и господа, мы благодарим волонтеров за помощь в организации матчей чемпионата мира по хоккею в Санкт-Петербурге.
Do we want to wait, or should we just do it? Okay, just him and I. Always a neat scene with Hungary, their fans singing their national anthem to them. Taylor, they hung in for the first half of the game or so. Do you have a certain amount of respect for a team like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Every year I come to this tournament, these countries get better and better. It's a credit to how far hockey's come, and it's never an easy game with these guys.
The fans too throughout the game. You have to be able to hear them on the bench.
Yeah, I know. It's a great atmosphere. That's one of the best things about coming over here and playing is seeing the other countries, seeing the fans and the culture here. So, good game for our team and a good atmosphere.
Taylor, you played most of last tournament on a line with Sidney Crosby, playing with Corey Perry at this one. Going, and how's it maybe a little different?
He's such a big body. He loves, getting pucks to the net, little plays around there.
Okay, just him and I. Always a neat scene with Hungary, their fans singing their national anthem to them. Taylor, they hung in for the first half of the game or so. Do you have a certain amount of respect for a team like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Every year I come to this tournament, these countries get better and better. It's a credit to how far hockey's come, and it's never an easy game with these guys.
The fans, too, throughout the game, you have to be able to hear them on the bench.
Yeah, no, it's a great atmosphere. That's one of the best things about coming over here and playing is seeing the other countries, seeing the fans and the culture here. So, good game for our team and a good atmosphere.
Taylor, you played most of last tournament on a line with Sidney Crosby, playing with Corey Perry at this one. How is that combination going, and how's it maybe a little different?
He's such a big body. He loves, getting pucks to the net, little plays around there. We've only played a couple games together, but I think you're starting to see some combos on our team, get some chemistry, and hopefully that keeps building throughout the tournament.
A couple of wins for your team. If you were to pinpoint an area or two that you need to focus on, stay consistent on moving forward, what is it?
Well, our special teams need to keep getting better. It's tough. We haven't had a whole lot of time together, but if we can start getting more pucks to the net, create some more chances there, that'll be good. Other than that, just little things. Defensively, we can keep getting better, and I think we will.
Thanks, Taylor.
Thank you.
Fantastic. You ready?
This is me here.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So maybe time for 2 comments then? Okay. All righty. You ready, Benny? We good here? Okay, here we go. Okay. Last year, Connor McDavid was the darling of the NHL draft. His every move scrutinized, so much talk about where he'd go. This year, he takes a back seat to Austin Matthews and Patrick Laine. You think McDavid might have taken notice of their performances in the first 2 games?
Well, I do believe they notice. I do believe that Connor McDavid has this internal drive to want to be the best all the time. And when I watch him play, I thought he was okay in the first game against the U.S., but today you started to see a little bit more of what McDavid's really all about. He showed off his passing skills, an assist on the power play goal of Mark Scheifele in the first period, and to Brad Marchand in the second. But his skating was what starts to separate him from other good players that are very good. McDavid just can go to a different level. He showed his speed, his power, his agility. A wonderful player to watch. 2 assists in 18 and a bit minutes today, and really just more of what we expect to see from him.
And overall, what do you think of Canada?
I thought they started well. They got the 4 goals in 5 minutes in the second period to really blow the game open. They took a little bit of a snooze at the start of the second period. And at 2-1, Hungary almost tied it up a couple of times in the first 90 seconds. But the game went predictably for them. I think they probably are happy for the most part the way it went.
I'm not sure if NHL teams will ever sign a Hungarian player. They should sign those Hungarian fans. They were the stars of the show today.
You're